Hi, welcome to Roy's Game Table. Today we have Ms. Marvel Justice versus Rhino Expert. So pull up a chair and let's see who wins. Okay, everything is set up and ready to go, and I've got my starting 6-card hand here that I'm going to go ahead and mulligan. And I really want to get out a card that will let me do some thwarting to get rid of this side scheme here at the beginning. So I am going to discard some cards. I'm going to get rid of this Haymaker and Jessica Jones. I do have another Avengers Mansion in the deck, and it's cost 4. I'm going to go ahead and discard that. I'd like to keep the rest of the things. I might go ahead and get rid of this Helicarrier, but I want to keep these two, so that's what I'm going to do. Draw back up to 6. Okay, good. I got to sneak by so I can do what I was hoping to do. So let's go ahead and get started with the game. I'm pretty happy with what I got here. I'm not going to discard cards to get a Ms. Marvel card. So I'm going to go ahead and put followed in on the breaking and taking side scheme here and use wiggle room to do that. And then I'm going to flip to Ms. Marvel. And I'm going to play sneak by with the Power of Justice and Helicarrier. And so I can remove 3 threat from a scheme. I will remove it from here. So that'll get breaking and taken out of the way. And then when I do that, of course, I get to deal 4 damage to an enemy. So I'm going to drop Rhino from 15 down to 11. Okay, and then I think I'll just go ahead and attack with Ms. Marvel for 1 on Rhino. So that'll drop him down to 10. Then I'll ready and draw up to 5. Okay. Villain phase. Put 1 threat on the main scheme here. And he is going to attack for 3. And I'll just let her take it. So it's going to be 3, 4 damage. Dropping her from 10 to 6. And then the encounter card is a Hydra Bomber. So choose to either take 2 damage or place 1 threat on the main scheme. I'll go ahead and place a threat on the main scheme because I don't want to take any more damage than I have to. And that Hydra Bomber will come in with 2 hit points. Okay, back to me. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and put in Red Dagger with Genius and Big Hands for 3. And so he'll come in with 3 health. And then I'm going to have him attack for 2 to knock out this Hydra Bomber. And then that'll drop him to 2. And I really don't want to get rid of Embiggen. So I think I'm just going to keep what I have there. I'll have Ms. Marvel thwart for 1 off the main scheme. And ready her up. And then draw up to 5. Okay? Villain phase, 1 on the main scheme. He'll attack for 3. And I hate to do it so early, but I'm going to have Red Dagger go ahead and defend for this. So it's 3, 4, 5. So that'll defeat him. And then I will use... when Red Dagger is defeated, I can spend 2 resources of different types, deal 2 damage to an enemy, and return Red Dagger to your hand. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend Bruno Corelli and Biopolymer Suit to return him to my hand. So at least I can use him as a resource next time. And then for the encounter card, it is under fire. Surge, reveal the top card of the deck, and it is going to be Rhino attacks you. And if a character is stunned by this attack, the character is stunned. Or if a character is damaged by the attack, the character is stunned. So it's going to be, and I'll just have her defend, I guess. So it's going to be 3, 4, 5, minus 1 is 4. So it drops her down to 2. And then it's going to surge. And she is confused. False alarm came out, so... Okay, back to my turn, and I've only got 2 hit points left. So, this isn't good. I'm going to put Red Dagger back into play. Oh, when I used the resources to put them back into my hand, I didn't deal damage to Rhino, so it'll drop him from 10 to 8. Okay? So I'm going to put Red Dagger in using energy and big hands for 3. And he'll come into the game with 3. And then I'm going to have him thwart for 2 off of the main scheme. Drop him down to 2. And then I'm going to have her flip because I need to survive this round. Ready up and draw up to 6. Okay, main phase. 1 threat on the main scheme. He'll scheme for 1. Just 1, and good. That's an advance that was drawn, so hopefully he won't scheme with the encounter card, which is going to be a Hydra Bomber. So I can't take 2 damage or I'll lose, so I'll put 1 threat on the main scheme, bring it up to 3, and he'll come in with 2 health. All right, not too bad. At least I survived it. I think I'm going to go ahead and just have Red Dagger knock out that Hydra Bomber. Okay, and then going to go ahead and heal her for 5, bringing her up to 7. From 2 to 7. Then I'm going to use her ability to discard cards until I get a Ms. Marvel card and add that card to my hand. So under surveillance, Nick Fury. Okay, I got big hands. I'm going to put in Amir Khan using one of the sneak buys that she had. And then I'm going to go ahead and use him to place a card from my discard pile on the bottom of my deck and then draw a card. So let me see which one I want to do. I'm going to put a wiggle room at the bottom of my deck. And then draw a card. So it's another concussive blow. Okay, and then I'm going to use that concussive blow to put in Nakia Bahadir. Then I'm going to use her to exhaust her to reduce the cost of the next card I play by 1. Okay, so then now I'm going to flip to Ms. Marvel. And then I'm going to play a concussive blow and spend. I've got 1 from Nakia Bahir, and I can do that because her card says reduce the cost of the next card you play this phase by 1. And so it doesn't matter if it's on Ms. Marvel's side or Kamala Khan's side. So I flip now Ms. Marvel. So that's 1 from her. They're going to use Big Hands and Sneak By for 2-3. And because Big Hands has a physical resource, I not only confuse Rhino, but I also deal 3 damage to him, dropping him down to 5. All right, ready up and then draw up to 5. Okay. Villain phase, put 1 on the main scheme. He's going to attack. I'm just going to let Ms. Marvel take this because I have a wiggle room, so he's going to attack for 3. So just 3, and then I'm going to use wiggle room to prevent 3 of that damage. So basically all of the damage that she was supposed to take, and then she gets to draw a card. Okay, and then encounter phase. It's hard to keep down. Rhino heals 4 damage, and he can heal 4 damage. So he'll go back up to 9. All right, back to me. I'm going to go ahead and have Ms. Marvel thwart so that I can knock off this confused from her. And then I'm going to put in under surveillance on the main scheme over here using lockjaw and followed. And then because he's confused, I'm going to go ahead and flip to Ms. Marvel. And use Amir Khan to put a card from a discard pile on the bottom of my deck and then draw a card. And I'm going to put this I'm going to put a concussive blow on the bottom. And then then I get to draw a card for Justice. Okay, and then I'm going to play Nakia. I'm going to exhaust her to reduce the cost of the next card I play, which I'm going to put Embiggen into play. So she's 1. I'm going to play for Justice for 2. Hold on to Daredevil and hope that I get to put him in next turn. And ready everything up and draw up to 6. So I drew up to 6, but my deck ran out, so I got to deal myself an encounter card for that. And shuffle up. Okay, villain phase. I'll go up to 5. But it takes 11 now for him to win on his scheme. He's supposed to scheme, but he's confused, so that'll just knock off. And then deal another card. So the first encounter card is give Rhino a tough status card. If he already has one, he doesn't, so he'll be tough. And then the other one is when revealed, he's an alter ego, so this card gains Surge. It was Assault. And then Shocker, deal 1 damage to each hero. So Shocker will come into play and deal damage to each hero, which she is not. She's in alter ego form. But he does come in with 3 health. Okay, so back to Kamala Khan and Ms. Marvel. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use Nakia to reduce the cost of the next card I play by 1 and put Endurance in to put her from 7 to 10. And now her max hit points is 13. And then I'm going to use, I'm going to go ahead and flip to Ms. Marvel. All right, I'm going to use Ms. Marvel to attack for 1. To go ahead and knock off the tough off of Rhino. And then I'm going to use a Haymaker, spending Concussive Blow and Shrink to take out Shocker here for 3 damage. And then I'm going to hold on to these other 2 cards I have. And ready up, draw back up to 5. Okay, villain phase. Put 1 on the main scheme. So that'll bring it up to 6. And he will attack for 3. For just 3. And I'll use Wiggle Room to prevent 3 of that. And that lets me draw a card. And I'm going to go ahead and exhaust her to put that back into my hand. Since it was an event, because you'll see why I think in a minute. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do. So, encounter card is attached to Rhino. It gets +1 attack. Well, I'm surviving, but I'm still not doing a lot of damage to him. Hopefully I'll be able to do that here soon, but I've just been trying to build myself up. So it's back to Ms. Marvel. Okay, I'm going to put in Biokinetic Polymer Suit with a Helicarrier. And then I'm going to exhaust it to generate a physical resource for an event. And I'm going to use Followed so that I can pay for Sneak By to remove 3 threat from a scheme, dropping the main scheme from 6 down to 3. Okay, and I can't bring that back because she's exhausted, but that's okay. And I think I'll just leave it at that, ready everything up, and draw back up to 5. Okay, main scheme gets 1, bringing it back up to 4. He will attack for 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to use Wiggle Room to prevent 3 of that, so it'll just drop her down to 7. And then I get to draw a card. And then the encounter phase is Rhino attacks you. If a character is damaged by this attack, that character is stunned. So I'm going to have Red Dagger take this attack. He'll attack for 4, 5, so he's knocked out of the game. And I could use 2 resources to keep him in, or to put him back into my hand, but I don't think I'm going to. So I'm just going to have him get knocked out. All right, so that was the encounter card. So back to Miss Marvel. And what I'm going to do on her turn is I'm going to exhaust Biokinetic Polymer Suit. I'm going to play Concussive Blow. So 1 for Biokinetic Polymer Suit, 1 for Followed, and 1 for Avengers Mansion. So because of that, I can deal 3 damage. First of all, I'll confuse him. And so because of that, I do deal 3 damage. And I'm going to exhaust Embiggen to increase it by 2. So it's going to be a total of 5 damage, dropping him from 9 to 4. And then I'm going to exhaust Ms. Marvel to bring that back into my hand. And then I'm going to flip Ms. Marvel over and exhaust Amir Khan so that I can put a card from a discard pile underneath my deck. And I think I'm going to put a Concussive Blow under there, another one. And then when I get to draw a card. And then I'm going to use Nakia Bahadir. I'm sorry if I mispronounced her name, but I'm going to exhaust her to reduce the next card I play by 1, which is going to be Daredevil. And I'm going to, so that's 1, 2, 3, and then for Justice is 4. And Daredevil will come in with 3 hit points. I'm going to go ahead and have him thwart for 2 off of the main scheme. And then when he thwarts, he'll deal damage to the villain, or to an enemy. So he's going to drop from 4 to 3. And then I'm going to draw up to 6 and ready everybody. Okay, 1 threat on the main scheme. He's supposed to scheme, but he's confused, so he won't. And then the encounter card is attached to Rhino. It's charged, so the next time he attacks, it'll be overkill damage. Okay. So that's his phase. Back to me. I know the first thing I want to go ahead and do is heal with Kamala Khan. So to bring her back up from 7 to 12. And the reason why I get to go up above 10 to 12 is because she does have endurance, which raises her max hit points by 3. And so anyway, I'm going to do that. Then I have Amir Khan exhaust so I can put a card on the bottom of my deck. And I think I will do... I'm going to go ahead and put the Haymaker under there so I can start trying to do some damage. Oops. And then I draw a card. Okay. And then I'm going to have Nakia exhaust to reduce the next card that I play by 1. Flip over to Ms. Marvel. And I'm going to use Biopolymer Suit to generate a resource, because I'm going to be playing another Concussive Blow. So that's 1, 2, and then I'll use one of my sneak buys that I have here for 3. And I'm going to confuse him again. And deal... I'm going to exhaust Embiggen to deal 5 damage. Oh, no, I'm not, because I'm actually, by doing this, hitting him for 3, it's going to move him to his side 3 side. So let me go ahead and do that. So when his side 3 side comes in, he gains a toughness, and Ms. Marvel is stunned. Okay, and he comes back up to 16 health. All right. And I got to deal the 3 damage because I used the biokinetic polymer suit, gave me a wild resource. I'm going to have Daredevil thwart for 2 off of the main scheme, and go ahead and hit Rhino for 1 to knock off this tough. And then I will go ahead and put in a helicarrier, which is going to be over here, way over here. Let me move everything over. And I'm going to spend the 2 energy and a power of justice, these 3 resources, to bring that helicarrier in. And we'll ready and draw up. Okay, beginning of the villain phase. We got 1 on the main scheme. He is going to attack, and it's gonna be overkill damage, so there's really no reason to put Daredevil in front of this. This time he'll only prevent 1 of it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and have her defend. She does have 12 health. So it's gonna be 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 damage minus 1 is 7, bringing her down to 5. So she got hit hard by that charge. Okay, but the good news is that charge comes out of the game. Okay, and then the encounter card is going to be a Hydra mercenary, and so he's a guard. And that's all. He doesn't come in with a tough or anything. He's just a guard that comes in. All right, back to me. Okay, I'm going to put in Mockingbird using Genius for 3 and a Power Of card for 1 more for a total of 3 of the Power of Justice and a Genius for a total of 3 resources. She'll come in with 3 health and stun. She's going to stun Rhino. She will attack him for 1, bringing him down to 15. And then I'm going to go ahead and have Daredevil. Well, he doesn't need to thwart yet. I'll just use him as a blocker. So I won't be thwarting. And I think I would like to use... I will go ahead and use a sneak by. I'm going to use helicarrier to reduce that by 1, and then biopolymer suit for 2. So remove 3 threat from his scheme, dropping the main scheme down to nothing. And I can't bring it back because she's exhausted. I'm going to hold on to big hands because Ms. Marvel's stunned and I can't attack right now. So I'll ready everything up and draw back up to 5. Okay, villain phase. 1 on the main scheme. He's supposed to attack, but he doesn't. So he is stunned and it comes off. The Hydra mercenary, I'll just have him attack Ms. Marvel for 1, dropping her to 4. And I just realized that I hit Rhino with Mockingbird, and she wasn't supposed to do that because of the guard. So I'm going to put him back up to 16 and drop the guard down to 2. Okay, so he was stunned. And then the Hydra mercenary hit Ms. Marvel. The encounter card is going to be, when revealed, the villain in each minion engaged with you attacks you. So Daredevil is going to take this attack from Rhino. It's going to be for 5. Just for 5. And so that'll knock him out of the game. And then the Hydra mercenary, I just have her attack Ms. Marvel for 3. Or for 1, dropping her to 3. Okay, and so that is the encounter card. It was gang up, and so now it's back to Ms. Marvel. All right, so it's back to Ms. Marvel, and so I'm going to go ahead and have her attack to knock off the stun that's on her. And then the first thing I want to do is use a haymaker, spending under surveillance and lockjaw to be able to do that. for 3 to knock off this Hydra mercenary because he's a guard, has guard, and so now I can attack. Now I can attack Rhino without having to worry about anything, and so I'm gonna go ahead and do that with big hands. And technically, you're supposed to use Helicarrier first to reduce the cost of the next card play by 1. I haven't necessarily been using it first the whole time, but that's been the intent. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So the next card that I put in will be reduced by 1 the cost, and it's gonna be big hands. And then, so I only have to pay 1, and I'm going to use Biokinetic Polymer Suit to do that. So that's 2, and then I'm going to exhaust and Biggin to increase the damage by 2. So it's going to do 6, dropping him from 16 down to 10. Okay, and unfortunately I can't put that back in my hand because she's exhausted, but that's okay. Then I'll have Mockingbird attack for 1, dropping him down to 9. And she's at 3 health, so she needs to be able to heal up some. I'm going to flip her over to Kamala Khan. And I think I'll go ahead and just use Amir Khan to draw a card just to see what I get. And I'm going to put big hands underneath her deck. And then draw a card. And it's Avengers Mansion. Okay, and unfortunately, I don't have enough to bring Nick Fury or Avengers Mansion in, so I won't be able to use Nakia this turn. So I'm going to ready and draw up to 6. Okay, so villain phase. 1 on the main scheme. He's supposed to scheme because she's in alter ego, but he's confused, so he can't. And then the encounter card is, when revealed, discard an upgrade or support you control. So that's not good. It won't be endurance or I'll lose. So he's only got 9 health left. I think I'm pretty close to winning. I like what Helicarrier and Biokinetic Polymer Suit are doing. I don't want to get rid of Embiggen or Nakia. I guess I'll just discard Amir. I don't want to do any of them, but I have no choice. So I discarded an upgrade. I discarded support or control. That's the encounter card. So back to me. All right, back to Ms. Marvel. So I'm going to use Nakia, exhaust Nakia, and exhaust the Helicarrier. And then spend Jessica Jones and Bruno for 4 resources to bring in Nick Fury way over here. And when I do, I'm going to have him deal the 4 damage. There's no guards in play, so it doesn't matter anyway. That 4 damage is not an attack. But anyway, drop him down from 9 to 5. He'll come into play with 3 hit points. I'm going to go ahead and have him attack for 2. Dropping Rhino down to 3. And then I'm going to flip Ms. Marvel. And I'm going to play big hands using Concussive Blow and Avengers Mansion to pay for that. And I know I have the suit, but it doesn't matter. It's 4 damage. He's got 3 left. And so Ms. Marvel has defeated Rhino. And Alright, so Ms. Marvel Justice defeats Rhino, and I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. I had a lot of fun doing it. I was a little nervous there at the beginning when she was taking some hits and didn't really have anyone to help her. I didn't have an ally to defend, didn't have a wiggle room to reduce damage, and so I thought I was going to lose in the first or second round, but she was able to hang in there, and those concussive blows really helped to be able to flip her to her alter ego side to heal, but also take advantage of Amir Khan and Nakia Bahadir. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing their names correctly. I'm probably not, but I'm sorry if I am mispronouncing them. But anyway, they were able to help me on her alter ego side, and that is one thing Ms. Marvel needs to be able to flip, and that's why I like playing Justice with her solo, because it does have the concussive blow, so I can deal some damage, confuse the villain, and flip to alter ego without the scheme getting too far out of hand. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing, and also hit the notification bell for any future playthroughs that I do. I'd see you next time, and have a great day.